Grant, welcome. Could you just briefly tell us what APTRA are up to right now?
We're here at Trinity explaining to the industry what we do. APTRA has about 120 members, global companies, whether they're airports, retailers or brands, some associate members as well. And we believe that there's a need for more commitment and more skin in the game, so to speak, from the industry. APTRA has three pillars. One's knowledge, one's networking, and one's advocacy. They're all as important as each other because together they support, nurture, protect the industry. So what we're up to is encouraging people to be more committed, more connected to what we do and support the entire industry.
One of the things that you've done is your economic report for the Asia Pacific region. What was the purpose behind that, and what are the basic contents in it?
Yeah, with the Duty Free World Council, we commissioned the Economic Impact Report of Asia Pacific. It's a huge document, the first quantifiable piece of information that allows us to use this as a tool to bring to the regulators and the governments across the region a deeper, better understanding of what our industry does. The entire community across all of the airports, across all of the ports of duty-free industry, across more than 40 countries, and does much more than just make money from selling goods. It adds about 300,000 jobs to the region. And on top of that, close to 14 billion US dollars of GDP to those countries. And that type of information, that type of factual information is needed to be explained to the countries and regulators the broader impact of what we do.
Well, actually it's interesting because not only does it create awareness of what you do, but actually the growth dynamic of travel retail in the Asia Pacific region is the biggest in the world. It's the fastest in the world. So that number that you were quoting is going to increase considerably on an annual basis. So
yeah.
Really focusing their attention on this is not unimportant.
No, not at all. And exactly that is to bring the awareness of that and to also to have each and individual country really understand what we do and how important it can be. Yeah, exactly.
Have you had any feedback thus far?
We've had great feedback. Thank you for asking that. Following our breakfast meeting this morning, we had a round table at the APTRA Exchange, which is a new format that we've created to be more accessible, let's say, to those industry leaders. We've had great response. Everybody's saying good, refreshing, cutting to the point. We brought some...
Do you think they'll learn something from it as well?
I think every time, every time we, the industry, come to meetings like Trinity, you learn something, and I think that's important. I think that's really important, and this could be in the conference hall, or it could be in the corridors, or at lunch, or over a drink. You learn something every time.
It's clearly a very important tool. What else have you got lined up in similar vein that you're going to be releasing to the industry and to the wider community? So
APTRA's realigned the way we connect to our members. Today's meeting was to the whole industry. I was asking more people to join to be connected to what we do. But what we've also got coming up, we have a series of what we call APTRA Insight meetings as well. So we have 3 or 4 of those a year. They'll usually be around one of the conferences. And at those meetings we're going to be bringing more knowledge, more topics that people want to know about. As an association, as a collective, we can listen to the industry, and we can be very focused about what we're going to learn more about, and that's part of the collaboration of every individual company that's joined the association. That momentum is something that one big company or many small companies just can't do by themselves.
So do you see yourselves lobbying a bit more for some of the categories? But some are under threat from WHO and so on. Is this part of the makeup of what APTRA does?
What we're here to do is to increase the awareness and knowledge of all of the issues around us. And as you say, some categories have been historically targeted, whether it's the tobacco and more liquor. And some categories are being faced with challenges that are coming very, very rapidly. And understanding those, understanding the issues, and being able to talk about it as an industry, not as one company trying to explain or push a government to one way. As an association, we have a clearer voice. And it can be more trusted than someone trying to persuade a government. So I think that's an important part that I think the stakeholders in that industry should know clearer. APTRA as an association, DFWC, TFWA, ETRC, all of the associations talking as an association, as the voice of the industry, is much more effective than a company, a category, an airport alone talking about it.
There needs to be a symbiosis, doesn't there, between all the different associations, actually collectively, basically singing from the same hymn sheet.
Yeah, an understanding, and it's really now what we're working towards at APTRA.
Yeah. I just want to develop what you just said. You've also undertaken to produce a heat map. Something that really acts as a touch point for some of the issues that you're addressing. Just walk us through what that means.
Yeah, it's a health check more than a touch point. The issues that the industry and the players have been challenged with come very fast, and reacting to those is quite difficult. So getting a sense of what's coming before that it comes is a good way to be prepared for that. So we've established what we call a heat map. It's a physical global map, understanding what type of regulatory or issues can be bubbling up or boiling up in one part of the world or the other. And we try to watch it and see where that spreads. And something that's coming incredibly fast, and everybody's talking about it at this meeting, is this green issue, a CSR type subject. Every company is working on it in their own individual way. But the community, the shopper, the consumer is going to take action like that, or they're going to demand it. And governments, as a political statement, are making laws very, very quickly. And we see it in the news all the time. So we have to be prepared for that.
But there's a convergence, isn't there? And perhaps a blurring the dividing line between CSR and sustainability in terms of where do you actually draw the line, and to try and better explain this is clearly got to be something that's on your radar.
Raising the issue as it's coming is what needs to happen. Finding the answer will come. We don't have the answers right now, but just saying that that's an issue coming at you now gets you better prepared for when it hits you. And that's simply all we're doing. And we've had a good reaction to that as we started to show people what this heat map is about. And I think it's a good sense check, health check of how to be prepared.
So it actually not quite preempts a problem, but prepares you to react correctly.
It's not a crystal ball. It actually is showing the representation of the issues as they come up. India, the country, is about to ban single-use plastics. The whole country. I mean, more than 1 billion people will stop on one day. That has an effect on the world when that statement happens like that, and people will follow for good or for better. And it's all about good. This is what we understand. How do we react to that? How do we prepare for that? We'll have to get ready for it.
One final question, Grant. If there's one thing, in one sentence, you wanted to say to the viewers watching this interview, what would it be?
Join APTRA, get involved. I think that's simply it. Yeah.
Good stuff. Grant,
Okay.
thank you for your time.
Great, thank you.